Boy, DC in the house today. Fredo's a little bit under the weather, but everything's okay. Got my boy Jerron riding shotgun with me over here. What's going on, Jerron?
Yeah, let's get it. Let's get it.
It's got another week 15, man, and we only got about 3 weeks of this good stuff left for the regular season. So a lot of games coming up that are very important, and a lot of games this past week that were very important.
Hmm.
We got some haves and some have-nots going on right about now, but 3 weeks is gonna all shake out.
It,
So, Jerron, anything popped out to you?
it was a lot of crazy games.
Yeah,
There's a lot
yeah.
of big swings. We'll talk about it. A lot of refs being involved. It was just
Hmm.
a crazy week
Yeah.
all around.
Yeah, man, it really was. It really was. And some of it, man, some of the outcomes it just shouldn't have been. It
Oh
shouldn't
yeah,
have been, man.
yeah.
It shouldn't have been.
Yeah. I second you on that.
Yeah, man.
How'd you feel about the Saturday splitting up Saturday Sunday this
I
week?
enjoyed it because to me the Saturday games turned out to be good games for the
They
most part.
they actually
They
did.
did turn out. They
They,
turned out to be real good games. Uh, but I don't have a problem with that.
mm,
Football Saturday, football Sunday. Just give me more to watch.
right,
Yeah,
right,
especially with the
right,
college season where it's at right now with no games. At least it gives me something to do on a Saturday.
right.
Yeah,
Usually I don't like the Saturday Sunday split, but
yeah,
this one actually worked out
yeah.
because, like
Mhm.
you said, other than the Ravens Browns game,
Right,
which was
right.
a dud, the other games were
Yeah,
were perfect.
yeah. Starting to finish. So we're finna jump into this week 15 results from the week. First game, 49ers and Seahawks. Um, 49ers pulled this off 21-13. Another win. They're just moving right along. Give you some of the highlights from this game. See, Brock Purdy. He was 17 of 26 for 217 yards, 2 touchdowns, no INTs. Christian McCaffrey led the rushing, 26 carries, 108 yards, 1 touchdown. And the receiving was led by George Kittles, man. 4 catches, 93 yards for 2 touchdowns, man. He had a game this week,
Yeah, he had
man.
a real
Big
good
game for
game.
him. He stepped up in the absence of Debo. And on the other side, Geno Smith came in at 31 of 44 for 238 yards, 1 touchdown. He was sacked 3 times. Kenneth Walker, not much going this week against that 49ers defense. 12
Mm-mm.
carries, 47 yards. And in the passing game, Tyler Lockett led the way, 7 for 68. Metcalf also had 7 catches for 55. Neither one of those guys had a touchdown. So with that being said, Jerron, what do you think about this game right here?
Oh man, that was an entertaining game. It was
Yeah,
chippy.
yeah,
Seeing Metcalf fight with every secondary player for the 49ers
yeah,
was fun. Um, it just proves that the 49ers are a legit
yeah,
Super Bowl contender.
yeah,
The way that Kyle Shanahan has these guys moving, he's the perfect coordinator because he makes the game easy for the quarterback.
yeah,
Like, yes,
yeah.
Purdy made some throws, but half of that was schemed.
Oh,
Everything was
no,
schemed open.
absolutely,
Like Kittle schemed wide open, and he all he
absolutely.
had to do
Yep,
was yak.
yep, that's it.
And then you saw that double screen, double fake
Oh,
screen,
man.
seam shot. Man, it's pretty watching
Yeah, yeah,
Kyle Shanahan call a game, and then the defense of the 49ers is unreal.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
they look like they could be.
yeah.
If the rules were back in the 2000s, they would have
Oh,
been
man. Oh, yeah.
the Ravens
Yeah,
type
big time,
team.
big time, man. But yeah, like you said, man, they just a plug and play with quarterback.
Yeah, yeah,
That's just
yeah,
amazing to me how Kyle Shanahan just can do that, man.
yeah.
Year after year after year, nobody else can seem to do that, you know. And when his system is set up for anybody, just about
Right.
any. This guy was the last person drafted,
Yeah,
and he's a third string quarterback, and he
yeah.
just walks into it, and that's what it. And there's no doubt in my mind, if he gets hurt, the guy Johnson behind him
Oh yeah,
go walk right
yeah.
in and do the same thing, man.
He'll do something.
And they don't lose. That's the thing. They don't lose, man. If they take what you give them, and Christian McCaffrey, man, he's just fitting right along, man. He's getting to learn that playbook.
It's
And
almost unfair how that dude
tell
just
you,
came in
yeah,
and now
yeah,
he's the star of the team
yeah,
now.
just like that, man. No Debo, no problem. So, man, when the playoffs start, man, the NFC might go through San Francisco, man. It's gonna be tough to beat. That's gonna be a tough out
They're tough.
because they ain't gonna beat themselves. That's the thing about
Right,
them. They not gonna beat themselves,
right.
and they don't do nothing fancy. They keep it simple and still beat
Yeah.
you, man.
They'll hit you in the mouth,
Yeah.
and then they'll misdirection you after. Like it's just
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like if you gave Mike Tyson's power to Floyd Mayweather, like
Right.
like he'll hit you in the mouth, and then he'll just make you look silly because he's going this way, you going this way, and it's a touchdown.
Yep. Right, man.
On the other side of the ball, and like the Seahawks had a good run.
Yeah.
They 7-7 now,
Yeah,
but
man.
I still think going forward they're in a good shape. The youth of the team is
Right.
kind of
it's
kind of showing up now. Now they're hitting a rookie wall.
Yeah.
Their offensive tackles kind of got whooped up front. And then Gino played okay for the situation.
Yeah,
but
playing against that defense, he definitely that's okay.
But they couldn't get Kenneth Walker going, so that's going to tear them.
But the thing about them, even if they don't make the playoffs, they can still hang their hat on something. They got a top draft pick, and the future is bright for them.
Right.
So they're going to be okay going forward, unlike some of the other teams in the situation that they're in. And another reason is the Lions are in their way too. So before the playoffs coming. But
whenever I say it at the beginning of the year, they're going to be feisty. This is kind of what I envisioned.
Yeah.
They got off to such a good start. I thought they might have a chance to go in the playoffs, but this is pretty much where they should be with the team they have.
Yeah, because nobody expected anything. Most people thought they would have the worst record.
Yeah.
One of the top 2 or 3 teams, as far as worst record is concerned.
I just saw there's too much talent for that.
Yeah. So, it's coming right along with. They got young future running back. And with Gino coming back, depending on what he's asking for, so I'm sure they'll bring him back on something.
They'll bring him.
Even if they have to franchise him,
They have to. What are they going to go?
Yep.
Drew Lock?
Yeah, or they might draft early. Quarterback. They got the number 2 or 3 pick or something like that, I think. So we'll find out here real soon. Okay, and on to the next game, man. The Colts and the Vikings. Man, what a game, man. Check out some of these stats, man. We're going to start off with the Colts. Matt Ryan, 19 of 33, 182 yards, 1 touchdown. The leading rusher, Zach Moss, 24 carries, 81 yards. The starter went down. The man went down, man, early in that game, man. And they say he's got a high ankle sprain. More than likely, he's done for the year. And on the receiving end, Michael Pittman, 10 catches, 60 yards. Let's go take a look at some of these Viking stats. Kirk Cousins, 34 of 54 for 460 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. But he was also sacked 7 times. Dalvin Cook led the way, rushing 17 carries, 95 yards, with an average of 5.6 yards per carry. The leading receiver, KJ Osborne, 10 catches, 157 yards. When you got a guy like that leading and you know what he's got behind him, you in trouble. You in trouble. Justin Jefferson finished second with 12 catches, 123 yards. Man.
He missed a little time, too. Like, he got a little nicked up.
Yeah, man. And this was a wild game, man. Most people probably stopped watching this, man. They probably took a lunch break, man. What do you think about it, Jerron?
I'm sure they made fun of Minnesota.
Yeah.
And then I know I was doing it. I was like, Minnesota, you look terrible.
Yeah.
Shoot, I'm gonna give you a couple of the team stats though. The ones that kind of stand out. Indianapolis in the red zone, 1 for 4.
Oh man.
Minnesota in the red zone, 4 for 4. That's it.
There you go.
That's the game right there. If you can't convert in the red zone, stupid stuff like this will happen.
Goodness.
It's kind of the Colts got out to that big lead, but a lot of it was kind of, I'm not gonna say fluky, but it was like they got defensive special team touchdowns and all that stuff. So it wasn't, as you saw with Matt Ryan, he had 180 some yards passing, so it wasn't him.
No.
And then with Jonathan Taylor, when he went down, that was pretty much it for that run game.
Yeah. It was.
I still think this is a negative for the Vikings, though. Even what happened with the comeback and everything, it's still the largest comeback in NFL history.
Yes.
there's no way you should be down that much to the Colts.
No,
like it's not. It wasn't even like a back and forth. It was just an onslaught. Kirk Cousins was just throwing stupid passes after stupid passes, and then I guess the Jeff Saturday effect took over. Like really, he wants to be head coach. You're disqualified after this.
Yes, he got to go. That's
you're done.
He's out of contention.
Back-to-back weeks, you just
can't do it.
You give up second half onslaught. So that tells me you can't stop the bleeding.
No.
Why should I entrust the whole team to you? He's disqualified. It was nice little run. Thank you, Jeff Saturday. But I can't give you the keys to this car, bro.
You gotta go, baby. They got a spot for him at ESPN, but man, I'm
as
an Oilers/Titans fan. This was a celebration for me. We don't own the record no more for the biggest league game.
Right.
Yeah, we were 32. They hit 33, man. And once again, Matt Ryan was a part of one of the largest comebacks in NFL history, man. And like you say, Jeff Saturday, he's got to go. He's got to go. Man, I was watching them when they were up. They were up 20-something-0. I'm like, man, they still throwing the ball. Run the clock out. Even though it's the second quarter, you just need to get to that fourth quarter as fast as possible. And they didn't. They kept giving the Vikings opportunity. And it's just a matter of time. That Justin Jefferson is just too talented. Whether he's the focal point or he's the guy that, just running out there, the decoy. He's too talented, man. He's going to draw a couple of guys every time, and so he's going to beat that a lot of the times.
Yeah.
And that allowed KJ Osborne to get out there and do his thing. And when Osborne and Thielen are on, man, it's just almost impossible to beat those guys, man. And for them, like you said, it was a bad luck on them to go down 33. If this had been the Cowboys, I understand that. Mm-hmm. But you go down 33 points to the Colts. That
really
unacceptable.
They ain't doing nothing.
Right.
They just catching the balls that Kirk Cousins is giving them.
You go scoreless. That Colts defense ain't no world beaters. But you go the whole first half scoreless.
Yeah.
To the Colts, man, it just didn't make much sense to me. So, but like you say, Saturday he's gone, and the Vikings you still can't trust them. You can't believe them. You still don't believe in what they've done, even though their record says one thing,
right?
But the action on the field tells me something totally different, man. And they may get that first round, no matter who they draw. I think anybody that they draw, they can get beat with the way they play the Jekyll and Hyde.
How much money are you willing to bet on the Vikings? I'm not betting nothing.
Even when they play at home, it don't matter.
That's what I'm saying.
It don't matter.
That's how I kind of gauge it. Like, would I put $400? No. Would I put $100? No.
Nope.
None of this is guaranteed.
Nope.
They could come out and put a stinker up like this.
Yeah.
But it was entertaining to watch. Even both halves, like it was just jokes.
Yeah.
It's jokes on we talking trash about Kirk Cousins.
Yep.
And then second half, hey, let's just switch it over to Colts. Look at these fools.
Yep.
So it was as a spectator, I'm not a fan of either one of these. It was fun to watch.
And just the playoff picture from the NFC, I don't think I put them ahead of nobody as far as betting, except for maybe the Bucks. I wouldn't put them in front of Detroit. I wouldn't even put them ahead of Detroit to win a game in the playoffs. Yeah. I think the Bucks or the Giants, or whoever that may be in there, maybe the Giants.
I'm not gonna lie. I think the Bucks. I think the Bucks would be not favorite, but they'll be close with the Vikings.
Yeah.
I just don't trust them.
Yeah.
They just have miraculous, like Dalvin Cook receiving 4 receptions, 95 yards.
Yeah.
Like they just.
Did you see that big play? How you let that happen on screenplay?
Yeah. All I saw. The funny part is he's running downfield. All I see is Coach just falling over himself, tumbling, and he's just rumbling.
Yep.
And he's looking like the old Dalvin Cook, and I just see linebackers just on their face. So, but entertaining game.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no doubt about that. Well, a lot of fantasy impact on that game, just the numbers, sheer numbers alone.
Yeah,
man, for sure. But we're gonna go on to this next game, the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns. Really wasn't much to see here.
No.
Tyler Huntley, 17 of 30, 138 yards, 1 interception. J.K. Dobbins, 13 carries, 125 yards. Leading receiver, Mark Andrews, 3 catches, 31 yards. My, how the mighty have fallen without the quarterback in there, man. Jesus Christ. Deshaun Watson, 18 of 28, 1 touchdown. He was sacked 3 times. Nick Chubb, 21, 99 yards. Leading receiver, Amari Cooper, 4 catches for 58 yards. And man, this game right here was one you should have took a nap on if you had a chance to. What do you think?
I had a chance to, and I took that nap. I had to stop this. This was disgusting. And like it's not really much you can say with Baltimore's already depleted offensively.
Yeah.
And Greg Roman he's done after this year. He's got to go. They don't have a legitimate passing game.
Mm-hmm.
And for the second half of the year for Mark Andrews to look like this is ridiculous. And then on the Cleveland side, it's not much better. No. If you look at the stats, the yard per play is 4.4 yards per play.
Yep.
And that's including passes.
Yeah.
So this is really a dink and dunk. It was a divisional grinded out game, but it's just neither one of these teams is anything is going to do anything this year. This is a look forward to next year kind of matchup.
Definitely next year. Cleveland, Watson is slowly coming. He's getting just a little bit better every week, but at this point, it's too little, too late. Even though they won, but man, Baltimore, like you say, Roman, and they missed Lamar. Something's got to give with the Ravens this offseason, especially with this being contract year for Lamar. You know, he ain't got no receivers.
No,
I gotta figure out what is the problem. Why they can't? Is it Lamar, or is it the offense? Well, why can't they get a receiver? Nobody wants to go there. Or are they not willing to pay the money to receivers? Because as you can see, what's happening with the guys like Hurts,
mm-hmm.
and it's going to happen with Fields next year.
Mm-hmm.
Once they put some receivers around him,
right,
you're going to see things change. But for some reason in Baltimore, they will not go out and find that receiver. They keep leaning on the tight end for some reason.
At this point, I'm at the thought that they can't scout receivers.
Yeah.
Because what was the last great receiver that they've actually drafted?
Yeah.
It's been a while. Like they can't. So even if you look in their divisions, the Steelers, they come up with receivers left and right.
Yeah.
They fall into receivers.
Yep.
Why can't the Ravens get a weapon?
Right.
Something like.
Yeah.
Let me. Who contributed to this? Okay, J.K. Dobbins, good game, 125 yards rushing, but he's not what he was after all these injuries.
Right.
Mark Andrews, Devin Duvernay, special teams. Marcus Robert, he's a special teams kind of cat.
Mm-hmm.
And then they pulled out Deshaun Jackson out of
goodness.
Goodness. They can't scout receivers. That's that's the only thing. They need to be trying to, like, why aren't they in the Odell Beckham?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, why aren't they trying to get T.Y. Hilton, Odell? Like,
they're not even trying.
No, that's the thing. Maybe it's just arrogance.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about another team that's kind of arrogant, but maybe they just think the Raven way.
Yeah.
We're gonna come in, we're gonna grind you down, but that's not.
That Ravens way is what scares me about his new contract.
Yeah.
Because the way the Ravens do things, I would not be surprised, man, if they don't give him that money that he's asking for, man. I would be real surprised because you have to think, am I going to pay you this money for the results that I've got? I know you got an MVP, but outside of that, am I going to pay you this type of money to capstrain my team for the results that I'm getting? Because we understand with that offense, you just blown near away from finishing last in the division.
But the thing I'm confused at, all right, so they didn't give him the contract. Where'd all that money go?
I know.
Look at this team.
Yeah. It's some money that they holding or some money that they misspent.
Okay, they got
somewhere else.
They got Raekwon. That's a good pickup.
Right.
Kyle Hamilton, the rookie, good pickup. Marlon Humphrey, he got paid.
Right. Yep.
Other than that, you still depending on Calais Campbell on your D line. Tyus Bowers, man, where did that money go? Did they pocket the salary cap money? This team isn't. This team is Lamar.
Yep.
And you're not going to they got to give him the money. They have to.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. But they still got to get that receiver or some receivers in there to take that team over the top because one thing, people just going to stack the box.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
If I the tight end being your lead receiver, hey, that's a problem. You need somebody that's going to stretch that field. Go out there and find one of them youngsters in the draft. They out there. Even if you don't get them to like 5th or 6th round, the receiver, they're there.
They just got to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, no doubt. And okay, on to the next one, man. It's Bills and Dolphins.
Yeah.
Woo, what a cold one, man. What a cold one. But it was a real good game. It was really, really good, entertaining game.
Back and forth, yeah.
Yeah, man. And Tua, he was 17 of 30 for 234 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Raheem Mostert, 17 carries, 136 yards, 8 yards per carry. In the receiving corps, we had Waddle. He had 3 for 114 with a touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 9 catches, 69 yards, but he also had 13 targets. Man, he's the number one.
Oh, yeah.
There's no doubt.
Yeah.
And Josh Allen, he was 25 of 40 for 304 yards, 4 touchdowns. He was sacked twice. Leading rusher, Josh Allen, 10 carries, 77 yards. Leading receiver, Dawson Knox, 6 catches for 98 yards and a touchdown. Man, oh my goodness. Jerron, what do you think?
This game was entertaining throughout. Even through the stands, the Buffalo fans were entertaining, throwing the snowballs and had McDaniel try to stop the game because he's like, "Look, man, this is unsafe having all these people throw all these." But it was a good back and forth. It felt like a playoff game.
Yeah,
it felt like two teams that were kind of clicking on all parts of their team. Tua showed up. Yeah, that's what I was worried because it's cold. Tua doesn't have a lively arm. But he showed up. He had a decent. It's not an amazing game, but he had a good enough game to win. But Josh Allen, that dude's a monster, man. He's a Frankenstein. It's just like there's no stopping him.
Some of the throws he make, man, it's unbelievable. And and with that win, they clinched the playoff spot. But the Dolphins, they played a lot better than I thought they were in that cold weather. Yeah, they did. I thought they were gonna fold the tents up and go, but they didn't, man. They, like you say, Tua, he did. He was very serviceable this game.
What I will say is, again, like I said before, Buffalo really isn't a cold weather built team. And in a way, with the Shanahan scheme that McDaniel run, he might have been like they outrushed the Buffalo Bills. It's just Buffalo in the red zone. Look at them. 4 attempts, 4 or 5 in the red zone. Yeah. Miami 1 or 3 in the red zone. That'll do it. It was a good even team battle. This is the class of the AFC East, and I have a feeling we'll see this again in the playoffs.
Yeah, don't be surprised.
This is the last time they see each other.
No, don't be surprised. It may be one first round. They may end up depending on how it falls.
Yeah.
Depending on how
but I can pretty much see this as a playoff game. The way they played, it's just all around good game. I gotta give props to Tua. I thought he showed up, and I didn't trust him.
Yeah, because the Dolphins they led all the way through the fourth quarter. Yeah, right at the end, Josh Allen put them in the position to win. Man, with the great quarterback, that's what you want. But like you say, this team, they in Buffalo, but they still ain't really built for Buffalo weather. It's crazy.
They're not.
It's crazy, man.
They're built like spread them out, spread and shred.
Yeah.
And I mean it worked, but I'm worried that's not going in the playoffs. You're gonna have to come with it.
That's right.
You're gonna have to lower your shoulder. Devin Singletary 3.2 yards a rush. Maybe they do have to just run Josh Allen. I get worried about rushing quarterbacks like that because it only takes one hit.
That's it.
But for them to win, they're gonna have to saddle him up and have him do quarterback dives and all that kind of zone reads and stuff.
You figure all this year they figure out they would have addressed that at some point, but they didn't. They just confidence on I guess what they have. But they're another one of those teams. If he goes down, they can go cancel Christmas. It's a wrap.
Oh yeah, it's over.
Yeah, man, for sure. And now we're moving on to the Sunday games, man. The first game, Philadelphia Eagles and Chicago Bears. How many stats? Jalen Hurts was 22 of 37, 315 yards, 2 interceptions, no touchdowns. 17 carries for Hurts, 61 yards, 3 touchdowns. Leading receiver, A.J. Brown, 9 catches, 181 yards, no touchdowns. Devontae Smith had 5 catches, 126 yards. And for the Bears, Justin Fields was 14 of 21, 152 yards. He was sacked 6 times for a total of 61 yards. Leading rusher, Justin Fields, 15 carries for 95 yards. And leading receiver, Byron Pringle, 2 catches, 39 yards, and a touchdown. This right here this game looked a little dicey to me at one point. What do you think about it?
So I want to start out with at first. So the controversy throughout the week.
Yeah,
Michael Parsons went on Von Miller's podcast. Said, "Is it Jalen Hurts or the team?" So if you look at this game, you could take it either way. It depends on what side you are.
Right.
To me, I agree with Parsons because without that team, they wouldn't have been in this game that early.
Oh, yeah. Right.
The way Jalen Hurts started this game off, it should have been a blowout on the other side. Chicago should have ran it up. But them having such a dominant defense, it helped keep them in the game. And then Jalen Hurts was able to come back and kind of stabilize.
Right.
So that's the word I was thinking. He was he stabilized, and then he put it back into his favor. The play calling. Yeah. What's it, Steichen?
Yep.
That dude, he needs he needs a promotion. He needs to get his own team.
That's right.
Because he calls a flawless game for the most part.
Yep.
Of course, everybody has hiccups, but situationally, it's always perfect. Yeah. From the short yardage is beautiful. On the in the red zone, beautiful calls. That I don't know how the hell they sent out all zero blitz, and Hurts, look, it was the most wide open field I've ever seen. Yeah. Nobody was close to the hashes. Everybody was outside of the numbers or blitzing, and that's the perfect play call.
Right up the middle.
Right up the middle. Yep. He could have walked it. He could have cartwheeled into the end zone if he wanted to. But man, this team, like I'm just saying, this needs to be a Super Bowl team. If they don't win the Super Bowl this year, they should be devastated because they got everything. Yeah. Only reason it was close because Miles Sanders coughed up that ball. Or this would have been a runaway victory towards the end.
Yeah, and they got away with this because they was playing Chicago.
Right.
You pull this stuff this week with Dallas and you turn that ball over like that 2 times early, it might be a problem for you when you dig that hole.
Maybe.
It might be a problem because you got to take advantage of that. When you get those turnovers like that, you have to take advantage of it. And like you say, the game script, the play calling for him, it's perfect, man. It is perfect. And that's what you have to do. Yeah. When you have to figure out what your quarterback good and bad at, you have to fit it around him. It's like that offensive coordinator knew what the defense was running.
Yep.
And he called the plays.
Yep. Yep. It's like they standing right by each other.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, what you running, bro?
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna do this. AJ Brown,
Yep.
Go ahead and get this 30-yard bomb.
Yep.
Oh, excuse me, 68-yard.
Yeah.
68-yard bomb, man.
That's a couple minutes. And Smith went off too, you know. I'm like, my goodness, I was reading somewhere and they say, is Devontae Smith the best number 2 receiver in the league? You know, but you know, you're gonna have some pushback because with the whatever you want to call that in Cincinnati, who's 1 and who's 2.
Yeah.
And of course, also in Miami, who's with Waddle. But outside of those guys, I don't know of a number 2 that's as good as him, man. That and with AJ Brown and with Hurts having the ability to pull that thing in and run, it's scary, man. It's really scary.
The thing I could say about that, so the best compliment, like Devontae Smith is a perfect compliment to AJ Brown's skills.
Right.
So the best 1 and 2 complementary is Miami, of course.
Right.
Then I would put them second.
Yeah.
As the best 1 and 2 as compliments because they fit perfectly together.
Yep.
Cincinnati, they're both beasts, but they're not perfect complements. Like one does everything great and the other one does everything pretty great. So, but yeah, it's just only team I can see beating them in the NFC is San Fran.
Yeah,
these cats right here just like a down game for Hurts right now. It's 315 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and they started that real slow.
You're right.
It was real slow. Okay, man, on to the next one, the Saints and the Falcons. Falcons came in this game starting a rookie quarterback, Ritter. He was 13 of 26, 97 yards. The Saints sacked him 4 times for 8 yards. Leading rusher, Tyler Algier, 17 carries, 139 yards. And the leading receiver was Drake London, 7 catches for 70 yards. On the Saints side, Andy Dalton, he was 11 of 17, 151 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Sacked twice for 17 yards. Leading rusher, Kamara, 21 carries, 91 yards. The leading receiver, Rashid Shaheed, 3 catches, 95 yards, and a touchdown. Somebody new on the scene for the Saints, along with the tight end, Jawan Johnson. So, with this game, what you think about it, Jawan?
What the surprising part about this is the Saints are right there.
Yeah.
They 5-9. They won one game. Probably, like I think Bucks have the tiebreaker with them, but they right there. They could, if they win out, they could get into. They could sneak in there.
Oh yeah.
It's just. Let me see. Let me look at team stats.
What kind of surprised me that the Saints defense, they gave up that many. I know Atlanta loves to run the ball.
That's what I was looking at.
That many to one person, to Algier, 17 carries. Yeah.
That's what I was looking at. I mean, it's only so much that Atlanta could have done.
Yeah.
Ritter, 97 yards. It's just the way that the Falcons are built.
Yeah.
They're not gonna have a dominant passer.
Right.
As long as their coach what's the coach name?
Arthur Smith.
Arthur Smith. Yeah. Arthur Smith. As long as he's coaching, I don't think they're gonna have a dominant passer. They just want somebody who's not gonna turn the ball over, and they just want to rely on their running game.
Yeah.
But shoot, the Saints are right there. They still using Andy Dalton, Taysom Hill.
Yep.
And then even Olave had a down game for him.
Yes.
3 for 53. Yeah. We'll see how they come up. I think the Saints have the Browns next.
I think so.
I
think
they
got
the
to go to Cleveland. They go to Cleveland.
So watch out for the Saints.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, especially the way the Bucks playing. And Kamara, 21 carries. I think it's been a long time since he had at least 20 carries. And that's one thing they need to do. Give him to him. He can handle it. And with Ritter, I'm surprised they let him throw it 26 times. But one thing I know about it is, even Arthur Smith or not, something's going to have to give in the future with the Falcons. They're not going to continue to run that type of offense. Not after drafting your last two draft first rounds with a tight end and a receiver.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't put them out there to run block. You don't go
Right.
out and draft those kind of guys to run block. So at this offseason, they're going to have a come to Jesus, and they're going to have to do something about that offensive scheme that they have. It's definitely got to look different come next year. If not, they're going to be in the same spot they're in now. For
Yeah,
sure.
I thought I do have to give them credit. They mounted a little bit of a comeback.
Yeah.
Because I kept seeing the score pop up, and I was like, "Oh yeah, Saints handling business." But
they
they came back. They made it a game, but it's just they didn't have enough.
Not enough. Yep. And this next game was going to be the Lions at the Jets. Turned out to be a pretty decent game. Not a very high scoring, but it still turned out to be decent. Jared Goff, he was 23 of 38 for 252 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. DeAndre Swift, leading rusher, 8 carries for 52 yards. Leading receiver, Amon-Ra St. Brown, 7 catches, 76 yards. And for the Jets, they brought Zach Wilson back in the fold for the week.
Mm-hmm.
He was 18 of 35, 317 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Sacked 4 times for 30 yards. Leading rusher, Zonovan Knight, 13 carries, 23 yards. Leading receiver, Garrett Wilson, 4 catches, 98 yards. So, Gerard, there was a lot of hype coming in this game, or whatever you want to call it, about Zach Wilson taking over the reins after White got hurt last week. So, how do you feel he done this week?
He started out shaky. I think this might be his ceiling. This might be this might be what you got.
Yeah.
Like he'd made some plays towards the end of the game that were kind of eye opening though. So he's kind of a fast break. Where everything breaks down, he can scramble around, kind of sling it around. You know, he wants to be Aaron Rodgers. So that's kind of how his game is. He just pocket breaks down and he just tries to make something happen. But the Lions, man, I think they started out 1-6. Now they're 7-7. This is the Lions that I thought we were gonna get coming into the season. They're competitive. They're tough team.
Yeah.
They even made Jared Goff seem kind of tough, kind of like he's got ice in his veins now.
Yeah.
And then they've got talent everywhere. They're I don't want to see them in the playoffs. Let's just say that.
Right. Don't nobody do. I don't think.
I don't want to see, unless you the 49ers.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it. Even the Eagles.
Yeah.
That's a team that could sneak up and they'll put 30 on you.
Yeah.
And then it's just they've got so many weapons. Swift, Williams, St. Brown, the game-winning touchdown to Brock Wright. It's like DJ Chark. They didn't even use Jameson Williams.
Nope.
They're not even using him yet. They just stashing him. Like, hey, when we get to the playoffs, we were gonna unleash you. But it looks like they're on their way. Man, I wish they changed the seedings.
Yeah.
The way that the NFC South teams should not even.
Yeah. Let somebody else take that spot.
Let somebody else take that.
They're like, say, man, they're a dangerous team. They're playing with house money.
Right.
So nobody was expecting them to do anything. So if they lose, it's a big deal to them. But you was already counted out 7 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And man, in golf, no turnovers. They played a pretty clean game. And man, it depends on what they want to do going forward. If they re-sign Golf to a smaller contract, they can do what they really want to do in the draft with that top 5 pick or whatever.
Yeah.
They can go whichever way they want to go. It's going to be interesting to see how that works out. And like you say, man, with the Jets quarterback, Wilson, he's done. Like that's as good as you're going to get.
Yeah, that's what you got.
Yeah, 317. That's the ceiling for him. When you sacked 4 times for 30 yards, that means you took some bad sacks when you lose that many yards on 4 sacks. So they got this right. They're going to have to move on from him. Zach White. White going to probably finish out the season whenever he can, but Wilson, he's gonna be the backup going forward. I don't see him changing that because you know what you got. It ain't gonna be much either.
And even Mike White was trying.
Yeah,
he was trying to get in there. He did everything he could to start. And I kind of feel with Zach Wilson, 18-35, that is the best you're gonna get to be competitive with him.
Yeah.
As long as he threw an interception, but as long as his touchdown and interception ratio isn't flipped, you should be just lucky that you're in that game.
Yep. Looking forward to see what these Lions do the next 3 games, man, and see if they can pull off a playoff spot and ruin somebody's day in the playoffs.
Yeah.
They
and
got
then,
a chance.
And then next year, like you said, house money.
Yeah.
All they doing is building up they trying to build a dynasty over there.
Yeah, that next year they might be the best team in that division, depending on how the offseason goes. But they got a lot of weapons, and Jared Goff, if he wants to stay there, take less money or whatever, as long as he don't try to break the bank, to mess off the team. But what they got is a good thing right now. They really do. Next game is going to be Pittsburgh at Carolina. Oh my goodness! A game between two teams. You know, one team is trying to keep their coach's record going.
Yep.
And another team, they just trying to squeak in the playoffs just based on the division that they have. Mr. Trubisky was 17 of 22, 179 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Najee Harris, 24 carries, 86 yards, and a touchdown. Deontay Johnson showed up, 10 catches, 98 yards, still no touchdown.
Yeah, right.
Still no touchdown.
He could not break that plane to save his life.
Man, still no touchdowns. And Sam Darnold was 14 of 23, 1 touchdown, no interception. Chuba Hubbard, 4 carries for 10 yards, was the leading rush for Carolina. Leading receiver, DJ Moore, 5 catches, 73 yards, 1 touchdown. You know, I know it wasn't much to really look at in this game, Jerome, but did you take anything from it?
Not really. What I took from it is Deontay Johnson finally doing something.
Yeah.
He's been on my fantasy team. I've been cursing his name until this week. There's nothing really too much to take from it. I'm surprised at their rushing total with the Panthers.
Yeah, very surprised.
21 rushing yards.
Total, yeah.
Man.
From one of the top rushing teams in the league.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's not really too much I can say. I didn't pay too much attention to these teams.
You know, I can't lie. When this game came on and Trubisky was starting, I said, well, this is an easy win for the Panthers. He going to at least give them 2 or 3.
I think I picked the Panthers.
I did, especially with him starting. But, you know, like you say, ain't much going on with this game. They fighting for Coach Tomlin's no losing record.
Yeah.
But what I did hear, man, I don't know if you heard anything about this, about Mike Tomlin being in the trade to the Carolina Panthers. Yeah, because see, the owner of the Panthers used to be a minority owner for the Steelers.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
And they say there's been some rumors that he may try to trade for Mike Tomlin, and if he does, man, that'd be perfect. That's what they need, somebody in the locker room, unless they're gonna go ahead with Wilkes, because what Tomlin got in Pittsburgh, he basically gonna probably be in a rebuild if something don't happen real soon.
Yeah,
because of the way they look, and it looks like they got talent, but for some reason, it ain't showing up in the scores.
If I'm Tomlin, I would hate that.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
Because they're one is a rebuild, the other one's just a bad team.
Mm-hmm.
So the Steelers can rebound. They've got pieces. Najee Harris is a decent running back. Pickens.
Yep.
They've got talent. They just need to bolster around the talent and find them a quarterback.
Yep.
With the Panthers, I don't know if he's a rebuild coach.
Right.
I think he's a keep you steady coach. But I don't know if he's a let me coach up Chuba Hubbard and that's the first I'm hearing it, but if I'm him, I want to stay right where I'm at, and I want to keep this longevity with the Steelers.
Yeah, that sucks though with trades. You know, you really don't have no control over it. But like I said, I think with the Steelers, I think their problem is they need probably a new offensive coordinator.
Yeah,
I think that's what the problem is with them. Like a quarterback, of course, but they definitely gonna need to change it. I think that when the season's over, it's gonna be one of the first firings you hear about. Canada, I think is his name.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be out of there, man. Because there's no way with those skill players you got that you shouldn't be better than what you are.
Hey, you know the direction they need to go? They need to get them a rushing quarterback. They need to switch from like Kenny Pickett. Oh, okay, he played decent, but the identity of that division is going towards our quarterback is part of the run game. Yeah. I think Anthony Richardson's the quarterback out of Florida.
Yeah.
Bring him in there.
Why not?
Big Ben size.
Why not?
He runs like Cam Newton.
Yep.
Get him in there. And just you learn from what the Eagles did. Why the Steelers have the makeup to be the Eagles.
Oh yeah. At all the skill positions. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So hey, you see, like it's a monkey see, monkey do league.
Ain't no doubt.
Yeah, I would do that. I would do that in a heartbeat, and then get some compensation for Pickett.
That's right. Because when you bring in those mobile quarterbacks, man, they give you a chance. They give you a chance, a second option.
Right.
Besides that statue quarterback that's just standing back there. With the way these defensive ends are coming along these days, man, you need somebody that can move around.
And how the offensive lines are getting worse and worse. Yep. Nobody can block.
Yep. So we'll see what happens in the offseason with them. Next game, Dallas Cowboys, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I knew this was coming up. I knew this was coming
Dak
up.
Prescott was 23 of 30, 256 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 3 sacks. Leading rusher, Tony Pollard, 19 carries for 75 yards. Zeke had 16 carries for 58 yards and a touchdown. Leading receiver, CeeDee Lamb, 7 catches, 126 yards. We're going to go over to the Jaguar side. Trevor Lawrence was 27 of 42, 318 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. He was sacked once. Travis Etienne, 19 carries, 100 yards. Leading receiver, Zay Jones, 6 catches, 109 yards for 3 touchdowns. Man, this was a game that started out one way and it finished another, Jerome, man. Yeah. What do you think about
it? For one thing, I called this loss. I knew
last week.
I knew they were going to lose to Jacksonville. The way that they lost is the frustrating part. Yeah. If you would have lost and it was a back and forth game, let's say it was a game kind of like the Dolphins and the Bills, back and forth, and then somebody pulls it out in the end. But this was just a breakdown. This is a complete, utter collapse on the part of the Cowboys. They dominated. They dominated the majority of the game. They had the ball more. They had the ball 35 minutes compared to 27 minutes. They won the turnover differential 3-2. Rushing, they lost rushing, but you were up so much that it was just it was kind of disheartening. So what I can say is the Cowboys are just such an arrogant team. That was the other team I was talking about. They play one way and then they don't differentiate. Dan Quinn, you got Kelvin Joseph on the island by himself. You playing single high. Everybody knows that that's how you're going to play.
Yep.
And Doug Peterson said, all right, we see the weak link. Attack him. Burn. 2 touchdowns. He was, his head was spinning. It's like he never played football. He looked like somebody who's been playing basketball their whole life, and they're like, you know what? Let me try this football thing out. His technique was everywhere.
Oh man!
And then it's just you can't. This is the second lead they gave up of over 14 points. To lose, like, that's just telling me that this isn't it. This isn't the team everybody was hoping for. They're kind of pretenders when it comes to level of the Eagles, 49ers, level of the Bills, Chiefs. They're not there. They're under that. They're close, but they're not gonna make their way into any kind of NFC championship game. This is a one and done team. I'm terrified to play Tom Brady. I think he is, and the thing is, watching this game, it's like Jacksonville brought out all the stops.
Yeah.
I think they ran like 4 reverses. They did reverse screens. They did all the gimmicks they ran. It worked, and it became a big play. All the stuff that we did is it kind of feels like they get too cute.
Yeah.
3rd and 1. They ran a bunch set where they split all the receivers to one side, bunch set on the other the numbers, and then all it is a light box.
Yeah.
We were getting 5 yards per pop on that. 3rd and 1, he tries to do a option. Like he tried to Dak took a step, option to Tony Pollard -7 yards. I'm like, why get so cute?
Yep.
Like, yep. I think Kellen Moore comes into the game with some plays that he draws up in his little green playbook, and then he's like, you know what? No matter what, I'm gonna run these. Yeah. I'm gonna run these plays. Yeah. Like McCarthy, you can tell me whatever. I'm gonna run these sets of plays, and what happens happens.
But when you say to Kellen Moore, do you think he would have drawn up the same plays for Cooper Rush?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
That's the frustrating part. All I want them to do is use the Cooper Rush game plan.
There you go.
Just over and over. All I want to see Dak do is hand the ball Pollard, bootleg play action off of Pollard and Zeke, and then take your shots. Just like what happened whenever that, like the first game back when he came back, they did exactly that against Minnesota. They did exactly that. So Kellen Moore is arrogant in his play calling. Dan Quinn is getting arrogant in his play calling. He would not shake up the defense. They had to end up pulling Kelvin Joseph. Jerry Jones, he's arrogant in how they built the team. Like, this is where Amari Cooper trading him is coming back to bite you.
Yeah.
Because over and over, they kept forcing the ball to Noah Brown. And I'm like, what do they do? Why am I seeing Noah Brown on my screen so much? And most of the game, he showed up.
Yep.
Until it counted, and he became Noah Brown.
Yeah.
The ball hit him between an 8 and a 5, and it went to a defender's hand.
Yep.
If they wouldn't have gave up on Amari Cooper, we're not talking about Odell Beckham.
No.
We're not talking about T.Y. Hill. We're not talking about James Washington.
None of that.
We're not talking about Noah Brown. Just it was arrogant to think they could just come into the game and to this season and just manufacture touches with any number 2 receiver.
Yeah.
Third and 10 in the fourth quarter. Jacksonville has one timeout. 3rd and 10, they throw a deep ball when all you have to do is hand it off, make them use their last timeout.
Yeah.
And then the game is over. Yep. This is after getting a fumble recovery with a minute and 20 something on the clock, and you didn't. It's just this game convinced me that they're not ready. Yeah. They're still not ready, and I don't know what's gonna convince me that they are.
You know, you talk about the Noah Brown. When it gets to the playoffs, it's gonna be a whole nother animal. You know, the pressure arises immensely. You're one and done.
Yeah,
your butt cheeks tighten up for that game right there. So you're gonna have to with a Cooper, that wouldn't have phased him like that. But when you come to that playoff, man, and then you know it's one and done, and any little mistake can send you home, man, it gets a lot tougher. But You know, with this game, what was the most frustrating part to you? What part frustrated you the most about this?
Probably the defense. Um, just the way Kelvin Joseph was left on the island
Yeah.
like he's Trayvon Diggs.
Yep.
It that didn't make any sense. It's like you just felt like, oh, you know what? Let's just roll him in. Next man up. No, next man. We complain about Anthony Brown. You think his Anthony Brown's backup's gonna be better?
Mm.
And then after that, just seeing Noah Brown on my screen so much, it's just I congrats to him. He had a good game, but
oh man,
he was the number 2 receiver.
Mm-hmm.
We got Gallup. Gallup didn't show up. CD went off.
Yep.
CD was Yak King after making tough catches. This is what the CD Lamb that we all thought and wanted, but yeah, it's just Noah Brown had 9 targets. CD Lamb 7 targets, 7 receptions. In a game like that, CD Lamb needs to have 15 targets.
He got to go to double digits.
15
he
targets.
Got to.
Why? That's what I'm saying. It's just so airy. Like, oh, we could just go to our the Rams last year. Cooper Kupp would get 18 targets if he needed to.
Everybody knew he was getting them too.
And in this game, 7 for 7 with CeeDee Lamb. There's too many parts. Like Hendershot got a touchdown, cool.
Yeah.
But all I need to see, the only names I need to see with yardage and completion, I need to see CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, Schultz, Pollard, Zeke.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't want to see nobody. I shouldn't see multiple red zone touches for Noah Brown.
Yeah.
It's just and then 1 sack on Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Yes, he's mobile. And I just had so much to complain about. Anthony Barr.
Yeah.
He was getting picked on the whole comeback. It was on Anthony Barr.
Oh
so,
man.
I don't know. I just don't. I don't want to turn it into the Cowboys podcast, but injuries are starting to pile up.
Yep.
Anthony Brown, Leighton Vander Esch, Jonathan Hankins, all going down. It's starting to show on the defense. So
because the rush yards 192.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was surprising to me. I know there've been a couple of games where they've given up some big rushing yards, but the total yardage that the Jacksonville put up, period, was a little bit surprising. It's almost like they went in and they made adjustments, but the Cowboys didn't make adjustments, period.
Yeah, that's that arrogant.
Yeah, they didn't make no adjustments. And Jacksonville did make adjustments. So, but, I think, Cowboys and the Eagles both had each other on their mind going into these games also. Look, I think they both overlooked to the next week.
Yeah.
After the stuff with Parsons and Hurts, I think both teams was looking forward to this coming up Saturday game. But like you say, neither one of those teams can play the way that they played yesterday and just think they can walk away with it. Neither one of them can.
This can't go forward.
No.
Something's going to happen. And the problem is with the injuries, I think this is what you got.
Yeah.
You're going to put up 34 points and it's still going to be a dogfight.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
All right. On to the next one. Kansas City Chiefs at the Houston Texans. Patrick Mahomes was 36 of 41, 336 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was sacked twice for 23 yards. Isaiah Pacheco, 15 carries, 86 yards. Travis Kelce, leading receiver, 10 catches, 105 yards. Juju, 10 catches, 88 yards. On to the Texans. Davis Mills was 12 of 24, 121 yards. 2 touchdowns. Royce Freeman, leading rusher, 11 carries for 51 yards. And the leading receiver was Chris Moore, 4 catches for 42 yards. I was just watching the ticker on this game, but it seemed like it was half-assed decent for the two teams that were playing. Did you take a look at any of this?
Yeah, I was watching this pretty intently, actually. And this is what we've been asking for.
Mm-hmm.
Texans just show up.
Yep.
Fight. Don't roll over. 2 weeks in a row, they actually fought.
Yep.
Pretty tough. Davis Mills had one of his best games from I would say as quality.
Right.
Because he used his legs. He got a rushing touchdown. He actually carried it 5 times. 2 touchdowns passing. Of course, they don't have the talent to win it in the end, but at least they fought. I don't know, Lovey and Pep Hamilton did something in the last couple of weeks to make them kind of wake up and be like, you know what, I understand. We're at a talent disadvantage. Brandon Cooks still ain't playing.
Yeah.
Nico Collins still ain't playing, but shoot, look at the name Chris Moore. Like, he went off last week. Mm-hmm. He's their leading receiver this week. I just want to hear the same kind of. I don't hear anybody talking about KC,
right?
Like they was talking about Dallas. How Dallas squeaked out. Mm-hmm. KC went to overtime with this team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, they handled their business in overtime, but it shouldn't have gone like that.
No way.
It shouldn't have even been that close. Total yardage 502 yards to Texans 219 yards, and somehow you get to overtime.
No,
but kudos to Texans for finally showing up.
Yeah, I mean, that yardage, you would think that Mahomes would just throw an interception. He didn't even throw an interception.
No, it was everybody else.
Yeah,
Pacheco put the ball on the ground. I can't remember who else, but everybody else was kind of messing up. Travis Kelce was getting bad penalties,
missing kicks.
Yeah.
But like you said, they ain't gonna give the Chiefs a hard time on this one.
No,
like they probably would the Cowboys.
No.
The Chiefs with this whole AFC South, the Chiefs they lost to the Colts.
Right.
People don't even talk about that no more. Like
that's true.
That's swept that under the rug like it never happened.
That's true.
The Chiefs lost to the Colts.
They skating.
Yeah, and they got by the Titans by 3 with the backup quarterback.
Yep.
Yeah. And Jacksonville almost beat them when they played them. So this whole division is giving the Chiefs fit. But nobody's talking about that.
Nobody's talking. They skating.
Talking about that.
Nobody's talking about Chiefs struggles.
Not at all. So that might come back down the road and bite them in the butt too, man. On the next game, oh man, the Cardinals and the Broncos. Arizona. Oh, Trace McSorley. Well, Colt McCoy went down. He was 13 of 21 for 78 yards. Then Trace McSorley comes in, 7 of 15, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. After McCoy had already thrown 1 interception.
Man.
The leading rusher, James Conner, 16 carries for 63 yards and a touchdown. D-Hop, 7 catches, 60 yards. Oh, to the Broncos side. Brett Rippon, 21 of 26 for 197 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, sacked 7 times for 41 yards. Latavius Murray, 24 carries, 130 yards, 1 touchdown. Jerry Jeudy, 7 catches, 76 yards, no touchdowns. I didn't even think to look at this game.
No,
I just watched the ticker on it a little bit.
Same.
But, hey, Broncos.
I watched some highlights, and I got to give Latavius Murray his props. Yeah. Dude just goes to multiple teams, and he balls out on every team. 24 carries, 130 yards, 5.4 yards a rush.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know Colt McCoy went down. It's just this Cardinals run is over.
Yeah.
I'm watching the Hard Knocks in season. You can tell everybody's face. They know they're going home. They know they're breaking this thing up. They're going to be a rebuilding year. Kyler's going to be out for next year. They're going to start selling pieces.
Yeah.
I wonder what.
That's what I was wondering about right there.
I wonder what Hopkins. What his contract situation's like, because they just brought in Marquise Brown. Hopkins might be up for a trade.
Yep.
Give me some pieces. From the highlights I did see, J.J. Watt looked like J.J. Watt.
Yeah.
think he had 2 sacks.
Yeah.
Some TFLs. 3 oh shoot.
Yeah.
3 sacks, 3 TFLs, 1 pass defense. JJ Watt looked like JJ Watt. That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
And but for you to go to this game or watch this game, you had to have some kind of money on it.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt.
Family was playing or something, because there's no way I'm watching this.
Yeah, I was watching the ticker on the bottom line, and Arizona was leading the whole time, like 10-3, seemed like forever.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, it switched over. It did. Broncos just started scoring on them, but this is the second week in a row without Russ, they put up 24 points.
Yeah.
He played only half last week.
Yeah.
So that's going to be something to look at going forward for the Broncos. You know, we gave you all this money, and you up for scoring 10 or 12 points every week.
Yeah.
The backup rolls in and puts up 24.
24, yeah.
You know, back-to-back weeks. So what's really going on here?
And what it really is, they lean on that rushing.
Yeah.
Whenever the backup in there, they put the Cooper Rush game plan in, hand the ball off. They 168 yards rushing.
Yeah.
Latavius Murray went off. Everybody's happy.
Take it out the quarterback's hand.
There you go.
And those guys, they jump out there and they give these guys these big contracts, so they feel like, I give them this money, I got to
make them prove
force it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When in reality, you really don't. But that's just the way the market's set up for the quarterback, and the Broncos are going to be in trouble for a long time with the way they set up.
Yep.
For sure. You got a guy like Latavius Murray, 8-10 years in the league, and he's still putting up these numbers. That was the only real bright spot, other than, ripping 21 or 26, 196. Pretty efficient, but he did turn it over.
Man, that just gave me an idea. We let Zeke go. Let's bring him a Latavius Murray, and it's going to be the same thing.
There you go.
Less money.
That way you ain't worried about, man, put Zeke out there. We got to because we paying him, we got to put him out there.
Yeah.
When you know Pollard is the best back.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, let Zeke go. Latavius Murray shows up everywhere he goes.
That's it. That's him.
Big ups to him.
Oh, man. Next game. I ain't seen nothing like this in a while. The Patriots and the Raiders. I did catch a little bit of this one right here. Mac Jones was 13 of 31, 112 yards. Ramondre Stevens, 19 carries, 172 yards and a touchdown. Jacoby Myers, 2 catches, 47 yards. Man, Derek Carr was 20 of 38, 231 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Sacked 3 times. Josh Jacobs, 22 carries, 93 yards. Receiving, Keelan Cole, 2 catches, 50 yards, 1 touchdown. Run, I was going back and forth with this game right here, but man, I know if you're any Patriots fan, they got to be pissed off this morning.
It was. I went and watched the whole fourth quarter this morning, just because I couldn't believe what happened. Patriots were they were controlling the game. They scored that touchdown in the fourth. And then trying to tie the game up, Derek Carr looked terrible. He was like 5 straight incompletions. It was and then 4th and long. Patriots played soft. Let them get it. All right, so that's 1. Okay, all right. Well, congratulations, you got a 4th and long. All right, let's see what else. Take a shot to the end zone. Terrible call.
Yep.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
In and out.
In that corner back there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was out.
Yeah.
There's no.
I don't know how they got to a good catch without that. I don't know how they did that.
It looked like half his foot was on the white.
Yep.
So all right. So you thinking overtime?
Yeah.
You thinking overtime? It's
right.
Bill Belichick. He's just gonna wipe that one off, shake that one off. All right, let's go to overtime. 3 seconds left. What the hell? Ramondre Stevenson, he's such a beast that they ran that draw. I thought he was gonna run it in himself.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
he passed it back, passed it one. Jacoby Myers. That's the dumbest play I can off the top of your head. Can you think? So for people that don't know, Jacoby Myers, they're doing the laterals trying to get into the end zone. Jacoby Myers throws it directly to the Oakland or the Las Vegas Raiders defensive end.
Mm-hmm.
He catches it, stiff arms Mac Jones like a child to the ground, and runs it in for the game winning touchdown. All they have to do is kneel or have Ramondre Stevenson just get tackled.
Yeah.
And I think y'all pull it out. To be honest,
yeah, with the way Stevenson
the
ran
way
the
he
ball,
was, way he was beasting, he looked like Marshawn Lynch. But that's I can't think of a dumber play.
I hadn't seen nothing like that, and I cannot think of that. You just lay down and you go to overtime, and you want to be a hero.
But he threw it. So the dumbest part of the whole play is he tried to throw it back to Mac Jones. Right. He didn't throw it back to Lamar Jackson.
The slowest person on the field.
That's the most unathletic dude on the field. He tried to throw it back to him. And interception. Yep. Chandler Jones. He pushes that child Mac Jones out the way and run. That is. Yep. I have.
Oh man, that's the most unathletic person probably on the whole team.
On Mac the whole Jones. Field.
It ain't like he had option to throw a forward pass. And then he could do it.
Yeah, what's he gonna do?
Nothing.
He's not Mike Vick. So after the game, he said he's just trying to be a hero. Man,
he might have just got out of the playoffs too, doing that stuff.
Yeah, now they 7-7. They looking up. Oh man, that was the most ridiculous inning I've seen. And like I said, I watched it this morning. The announcers were just. They didn't even say anything. they're like, all right. Jacoby Myers. Then he threw it to Chandler Jones, and they were just like, what's happening? How the hell? Yeah, I know Belichick is cussing them out right now.
You know it.
Like they played yesterday. They're in a team meeting right now.
No doubt.
Right now, getting cussed out. So
yeah, that had to be a long ride home.
Yeah, on Twitter, all I saw was no, man.
Yeah, because that put them back in the bottom of the division now with the Jets. Oh man! All right, man. On to the next one. Tennessee at Los Angeles Chargers. I watched this whole thing. Ryan Tannehill, 15 of 22, 165 yards, 1 interception. He was sacked 4 times for 28 yards.
Ooh.
Yeah. Derrick Henry was 21 carries for 104 yards and 1 touchdown. Henry, leading receiver, 4 catches, 59 yards. I'll go to the Chargers side. Justin Herbert, 28 of 42, 313 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Austin Eckler was 12 carries, 58 yards, 1 touchdown. Keenan Allen, 8 catches, 86 yards. And second was Mike Williams with 4 catches and 67 yards. You know, I was watching this. I thought it was going to be a lot worse, run.
Really?
Tannehill went down the first series, and I said, we got to depend on Malik Willis. So with that being said, the defense, once again, they stood up. They stood up with our offense, man. We are going to have to make some major adjustments to our offensive scheme. OC, he's got to go. He's got to go for sure. The GM is gone, so I wouldn't think the OC would be too much further behind him. You know, when we missing a lot of defensive players too, but when your defense going out there putting you in position to win, and you just continuously mess it off like that, it's real frustrating, man. And and eventually that kind of stuff right there separates the locker room. You know, I go out there and bust my butt, and we're 3 and out. You know, we got 48 3 and outs this year.
Ooh.
That leads to NFL.
Man.
So that tells me, your defense going out there making this stop, and they 3 plays later right back on the field to do it again, all because you can't move the ball at all. And so what I'm saying, at this offseason, there's going to have to be some major changes. Everybody, the quarterback, he's going to be on the hot seat. The OC, he's on the hot seat. And it's probably going to be some more position coaches that's going to be on the hot seat, man. We got to make some changes this year.
So I didn't watch this game. How did the Herbert interceptions happen?
Oh man, yeah. One of them, they threw it. They were going in to score. They threw it and one of our guys, he tipped it right before he went out of bounds.
Oh, I did.
And another guy caught it for the interception.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. And the other one, it was just a good read by Kevin Byard, the safety. Over the middle, he picked it off.
So that's the thing we've been harping on is the secondary.
Mm-hmm.
They had no 100-yard receiver.
No.
Like you said, some on the offense, something's gonna have to change.
Got to.
They're in the Ravens mode a little bit to where you kind of cut yourself off at the knees. You have no skill position. The Okonkwo is probably their best receiver right now.
No doubt.
Derrick Henry. Of course he's a monster, but man, it's just
at some point this got to start to evolve. For Derrick Henry, he's gonna be the lead back, but at some point you got to start becoming complimentary.
Yeah.
You got to set the offense up like that so you can move the ball in more than one way. If they put 9 in the box on you, you ain't got a receiver that can separate, you're already in trouble.
So what offense, like if you can envision, because at this point, I think y'all gonna have to switch up your whole makeup.
Oh yeah.
So what kind of offense do you envision yourself trying to that you would like to see? You want to see like a Shanahan disciple kind of offense, or maybe like a spread them out.
Right. I'm gonna be more of the. I don't have to necessarily have the deep ball. I'm gonna be more of the dink and dunk.
Yeah.
Based on our personnel, the dink and dunk that'll be fine. And then when you get your chance, you take your chance. We probably won't be in a situation no time soon to be able to push the ball down the field like that, especially with the way Tannehill's contract is set up. In order to get rid of him, the dead money that we have to eat is just going to be ridiculous.
Oh, so you ready to move on from Tannehill?
Yeah, if we could, I would, but I just don't see the better option right now.
Okay,
that's the whole thing. If there was a better option, yeah, I wouldn't mind at all. Some weeks he looks okay, and then some weeks you're like, my God, how'd you do that? So, like I said, Henry, he's gonna be fine, but we're gonna have to find some other playmakers and an OC.
What's your first round looking like for next year?
It's gonna probably be around about
like your middle of the pack,
20, probably about 20. Depending on how if we make the playoffs with the way Jacksonville going, we probably won't. So we'll probably end up at 19, 18.
So y'all do have your pick for next year,
right?
Right. One of them Ohio State receivers.
Hey, why not? Why not?
I think it's probably gonna be. I could see that Jackson Smith in Jigbu. And Jigbu Cat. I can see him in a Titans uniform.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be some nice receivers coming out.
Yeah.
Addison won't be there, and the kid from TCU, Johnston, I don't think he'll still be there. But like you say, the two guys from Ohio State.
I think Harrison Jr. He's gonna be longer. I think that Jackson Smith and Jigba Cat, he makes sense for the Titans.
And the guy from Tennessee, he's gonna be he'll be gone, I'm sure.
Well, he'll look good over there too. It's time for a change. Vrabel is a hell of a coach. It's just he can't do much. Whenever y'all gave AJ Brown up, that was pretty much kind of we know how our season's gonna go.
And now we see who wanted him and who didn't want him.
Yeah,
while the GM is gone.
Yep.
Yeah,
and now they 7-7.
Yep.
So
on the verge of missing the playoffs if Jacksonville continues, because we played Jacksonville the last week of the year. We play the Texans coming up, and then the Cowboys the next week, and then Jacksonville again.
So Jacksonville 6-8. Yeah, they coming.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They coming.
Yeah, and Jacksonville, I think they played somebody Jets or Lions somebody.
Trevor Lawrence starting to look like that first overall that everybody wants to claim him to be.
Okay, next game, Cincinnati Bengals, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Joe Burrow, 27 of 39, 200 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. He was sacked twice. Samaje Perine, 7 carries for 24 yards. Jamar Chase, 7 catches, 60 yards. Tyler Boyd was second with 5 catches and 35 yards. Tampa Bay, Tom Brady. 30 for 44, 312 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Sacked once. Fournette, 10 carries, 44 yards. Chris Godwin, 8 catches, 83 yards, and a touchdown. You talking about the tale of two halves, Jerron.
Yeah.
What do you think, man?
And I found myself feeling bad for old Tom Brady. Like, it's just not going. It's just not going right. And he was kind of the reason that the whole onslaught of points coming from Cincinnati came off of that Tom Brady interception.
Yeah.
And whenever that happened, it was like, all right, they can't stop these boys. Cincinnati kept getting short fields, and Joe Burrow didn't do much, 200 yards, but he was just in the red zone. They just lived in the Tampa Bay's territory. They went 4 for 5 in the red zone. They were just there. And then Tampa Bay, 4 turnovers.
Yep.
And this is them being up 17 to 3.
Like 3.
Yeah, 17 to 3 throughout the first half, and it was just they I don't know what happened. They tried to do that fake punt, tried to get too cute, and Cincinnati just started.
It's the defense, man. The Bucks defense. The first half looked like the defense of old.
Yeah.
The second half, man, it looked like the recent defense.
Yeah.
And that was the big difference in the game. Like I say, Burrow only 200 yards, but 4 touchdowns. When they got to the red zone, they made it count. Not for 3, for 7, you know. And that's the big difference right there. Because it ain't like they just ran the ball a whole lot. Cincinnati didn't.
They just kept getting short fields.
Yep.
Yeah, like none of the Cincinnati players stood out.
Nope. None of them.
Even Jamar Chase, 60 yards. That's not, 60 yards. He had a touchdown. It's just the Bucks are playing bad football right now.
Yep. And if it wasn't for Tom Brady and them being in that division, we'd really, really be letting them have it.
Oh yeah,
for real.
Oh yeah, we would be clowning them right now. But they're in the playoffs as we speak.
Yeah.
To me, they've got to be able. This is the scary part: is they have pieces. They have all the pieces. The offensive line is like toilet paper.
Right.
You just run straight through them. But I'm sure they can come up with a game plan, which is the thing that's going to scare me most. Is where Chris Godwin is gonna he's gonna explode in the playoffs, and that's the part that scares me. They look like a tamed lion right now. Yeah. But I still have faith that Tom Brady can carve up somebody. It's just Cincinnati's playing out of their mind too. Yeah. We got to give them props. They're looking like the Super Bowl team. So
they doing just what they did last year. They peaking at the right time.
Yep.
But of course, the Bucks, man, one week they might put up 30. The next week they might not even score 10 hardly, man. It's just amazing how you got all those weaponry as far as skill players, and you still play those types of games, man. But just a matter of weeks, we'll find out. If they some kind of way and they don't make the playoffs, oh man, you're gonna get some unnecessary firings and all kind of stuff in Tampa Bay, man.
Heads will roll,
ain't no doubt.
And then people are already talking about Tom Brady going back to New England, or going to the Jets. I've seen odds for him to be the Jets quarterback. If he does that, he's the man.
There
like,
you go.
If you choose to go to the Jets, you a special human being.
And that's all they're missing. That's all the Jets are missing is their quarterback.
Yep.
But, if going to New England, I don't know what he'd go back there for. I mean, just other than because he was a Patriot, but as far as players, he ain't that Tom Brady from 10 years ago where he can still make people great.
Right.
They got to have a little more skill than some of the receivers he played with back then.
I'm sure he's thinking he can bring some people with him.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. There's no doubt. Sunday night game. New York Giants at the Washington Commanders. Daniel Jones was 21 of 32 for 160 yards. No touchdowns, no interceptions, no sacks. Saquon, 18 carries for 87 yards and a touchdown. Leading receiver, Richie James, 4 catches for 42 yards. Washington Commanders, Taylor Heineke, 17 of 29, 249 yards, 1 touchdown, sacked 3 times. Brian Robinson, 12 carries, 89 yards. Jahan Dotson, 4 catches, 105 yards, 1 touchdown. Scary Terry, 6 catches, 70 yards. But Jerron, I'm pretty sure you did watch a lot of this right here.
Yeah.
What did you take from it?
Really, the more I watch Heineke, the more I like this dude. He's got some moxie. He's got something to him where he's going to compete his behind off.
Yeah.
Faster than you think he is, dude. But overall, it was a good game between NFC's rivals that the refs kind of messed up.
Yes.
Like the refs back to back. Just it's almost like they had money on the game. The way they was calling that last drive,
man.
You could visibly see Terry McLaurin checking with the ref to see if he was on the line.
That play right there,
and then the ref said, "Sure, you look good."
Yeah,
hut flag. Like, what am I talking to you for?
Right.
I just asked. Look, am I lined up right? You said go ahead with it.
If not, you tell me which way I need to move.
Yeah, no, scoot up a little bit. So that right there, and I believe Robertson scored on that play.
Yeah, he did.
Then you come back, last play, obvious defensive pass interference in the end zone.
The dude was hugging him from the back.
He was like a backpack. He hopped on his back, and that, of course, that just ruined the game for the Commanders. 8-5-1, 7-5-1. It ended up being a pretty entertaining game to watch. Jahan Dotson showed up. Saquon is still a beast.
Yeah,
it's starting to make me think about what are they going to do with him?
Yeah,
they probably going to franchise him.
He's pushing the envelope,
but he's looking like the old Saquon Barkley. Are they gonna pay him?
Yeah, and what is he gonna ask for?
Yeah,
but it was a pretty entertaining game for me. The problem about Heineke, the 2 fumbles, that became costly at one point. Giants winning, that lets the Cowboys clinch. So I think the Giants and Cowboys got one more, or they already played twice.
No,
they done.
Yeah, we're done
with Washington too.
We got Washington.
Okay. Well, yeah.
We got to go to Washington.
Okay. Yeah, but that's a home game. But yeah, like you say, Barkley, man, he looking good. Daniel Jones took care of the ball. Some of those passes he was throwing last night looked pretty good. He was fitting them in some tighter pockets than I thought he could. I don't know if it was the type of defense Washington was playing, but he made some pretty decent throws. But like I said, it's still a team that either one probably one and done. But I would be more afraid to play Washington.
Yeah,
than I would the Giants if they got into the playoffs, man.
That's why I kind of said that, because Heineken he's scary. He'll throw the ball up to, if you got 1-on-1. Look at how Jahan Dotson played. If you got 1-on-1, he's gonna throw it to you and let the receiver make a play.
And Washington's one of those teams, kind of like Detroit. I really don't want to see them if I'm that 2 seed or whatever. Whoever had to play them in the first round. They playing with house money. They're on the backup quarterback.
Yep.
In Detroit, nobody was really expecting them
to
do anything. But
they still got Chase Young. Like their defense could boss up.
Oh, no doubt.
On you in the playoffs if you know the wrong matchup, they can do something.
Trouble. It's gonna be. And Thibodeau on the other side looked good last night.
Yeah.
He was all over the place, man, when it started.
The thing that's again back to the Cowboys game that's angering me. All these teams, it took Herculean effort to get to 30 points. We easily get to 34 points and we still lose. They for the Giants to get to 20 points, they needed Kayvon Thibodeau to get a sack, forced fumble, fumble recover, and a touchdown. All these incredible highlights, and all they do is get to 20 points with all that, and we can't even secure a lead with 34 points scored.
Yeah. You win with 20 points. Scoring 20 points, and you still won.
Yeah, but But sure, we'll see what's going on.
Yes, sir. And what do you feel about this game tonight? This Rams and Packers game.
I cannot lie. I do not care about this game at all.
Yeah, it's even hard to find fantasy focus in this game.
Yeah, it really is. Man, so Aaron Rodgers is playing tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I'll watch to see what A-Rod's got. Christian Watson, he's starting to emerge, so I'll watch that. But the Green Bay's gonna kill these cats. I think it's gonna be a 13-point victory for Green Bay. They're in Green Bay. Yeah.
You think Baker got a little bit magic left in him?
Nah.
I think the round. I think Green Bay's gonna win, but I think it's only gonna be about 5 or 6. Man, I think that the Rams will keep it close enough. Aaron Donald's not playing again, so I think Sean McVay will call the game to try to protect Baker Mayfield and keep him in the game. So I think about 5 or 6 points. That's probably what it end up being. Okay, with that being said, that's all the games for Week 15. Now we're going to go ahead and pick these games from Week 16 and talk a little bit about each one of those. Thursday night game, Jaguars at the Jets. Who you guys running? What do you think going to be the main focus in this game?
All right, so they got Jets favorite at -1. I'm going Jaguars. Yeah. Trevor Lawrence looks too good right now, and if they do half of the great stuff they did against us, they should pull us out. Yeah. Is Mike White playing, or are we going back to the Zach Wilson experiment? Yeah.
I think they said White's got to miss this week again. No doctor was clear for his ribs. They want him to sit for at least 2 weeks. So I'm with you. I'm taking the Jaguars. Zach Wilson. Just because Jags on the road. Even though they on the road in New York, I'm still gonna take Jacksonville. Like you say, Trevor Lawrence, and they're feeling it. They're catching the groove with Zay Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Next game, the Buffalo Bills at the Chicago Bears. Man, Buffalo, the 9-point favorite.
9-point favorite in Chicago. I think they cover that. Yeah, I think they cover this 9 points.
Yeah, I think the Bills are the Bills will win, like you say, but the Bears are covered. I think it'll be one of those games where the Bears will mess around and put up more points than people think they are.
Yeah.
Especially the way Raheem Mostert ran the ball on Buffalo this past week.
Yeah.
They coming up against a whole different monster in Justin Fields. And Montgomery.
Yeah. So. I do want to see what the forecast is like, because the Bears are kind of built for that snow.
Oh, no doubt.
They built for that. And then they embrace that.
Yes.
They quarterbacks running back.
Yeah.
It's not just it's part of the game plan. It's a focus to get Justin Fields. Oh, shoot, we didn't even congratulations to him. He third quarterback ever to get 1,000 yards rushing.
Oh, but I didn't even see that.
Yeah,
I sure didn't.
Third quarterback ever.
Wow.
And he still got we got 3 more games left.
1,000 yards this year already. So you may mess around and get 3 quarterbacks with Hurts, Fields.
Mm-hmm.
God,
they running these boys.
The league and Lamar ain't even playing.
Yeah.
So the league is going towards, man. Next game, we got the Saints at the Browns. Cleveland is 3-point favorites at home.
I
know it. I know it.
I'll go with the Browns. To me, it's a toss up. I'm gonna go with the Browns. I just can't believe that the Saints are gonna come back and get in the playoffs. So yeah. I'm a lean Browns.
Yeah.
By 3, by exactly 3.
Yeah. I think it will. I'm gonna lean Brown because I think they're gonna lean on Chubb to run the ball, and if the Saints run defense look like anything like it did against Atlanta, then they're gonna really be in trouble. I just like to see how the Saints are gonna deal with this Cleveland Brown weather. There's no telling what it might be coming from a team that's always in the dome. And of course, what are you gonna get from the Saints week to week offensively, man? We just don't know.
Yeah,
you just don't.
They just pull names off a park bench and put them in games, and
so that's one thing they got to work on. Obviously, some consistency on offense, which direction they want to go in the quarterback position.
Yeah, what's going on with Jameis?
I know, man. I can't figure that out. He's just sitting there. Next game, Texans at the Titans. Tennessee is a 7-point favorite at home. I'm gonna take. I'm gonna. Man, you know what? The way the Texans been playing the last couple of weeks, man, I'm gonna take the Titans, but that 7 still might not be good enough.
I'm with you
It
on that.
might not be
I
good
I
enough,
think
man.
it's Titans by 3.
Yeah, it may not be good enough, man.
But so Tannehill,
We
his ankles fine
he
or
came back, but why he got sacked so many times? He couldn't move.
mm-hmm.
They taped it up real tight, and some of them he just fell down. He couldn't run when they got to him. He couldn't run. He couldn't scramble like he normally does. So that's where some of the sacks came from in this game.
Look, man, I might switch over to the Texans. I think Texans might get it. Get them by a late touchdown.
Yep. And the Titans, we're on a 4-game losing streak.
Yeah, I might switch my pick to the Texans.
Next one, the Seahawks at the Chiefs. Kansas City's a 9.5-point favorite. Wow, at home against the Seahawks.
I feel for the Seahawks. Yeah, I feel for the Seahawks. She's gonna beat them. I'll go with 10 points on the Chiefs victory, but the Seahawks they hitting the bad streak at the wrong time.
Yeah, man. I think the Seahawks will cover. I think they get within that 9.5. Man, I think if they can just get the ball to Walker and let him control the game, I think they got a shot. But you don't want to get into a shootout with the Chiefs, man.
No,
definitely not up in Kansas City. Next game, Giants at the Vikings. Minnesota's a 3.5-point favorite. Ooh, hey, man.
Oh man, Minnesota 3.5-point favorite. To me, they should be a bigger favorite at home.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with the Vikings. They should be a 6-point favorite to me.
Yeah, I'm going with the Vikings too, but I'm looking for a big game from Justin Jefferson this week against the Giants. A real big game. I'm thinking he might hit that 200 mark against them guys.
Ooh.
Jefferson.
Yeah,
he
right.
might. He just might. And I'm just trying to see if the Giants going to rebound off of that win against Washington. If they're going to bow their necks and try to do something with the Vikings, or if they're going to go back to what they were just because they got a 1 win over the Commanders. So Saquon's definitely going to do what he did this week again.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Him and Thibodeau.
Yeah.
Thibodeau need to show up again.
No doubt. Next one is going to be the Bengals at the Patriots. Cincinnati in New England favorite 3.5.
Yeah, that's exactly right. In New England, yeah, about 4-point victory. I see. So I'm taking Cincinnati and the point.
Yeah, definitely taking the Bengals for that for sure. But this will be one of them kind of games where the Patriots might try to stand up. For some reason, they just come out of nowhere.
Yeah, they just don't have enough. I don't see how they keep up with these boys.
Yeah.
Just relying on Jacoby Myers and Ramondre, it's just they don't have enough. They don't have an advantage in my eyes.
Next game is going to be the Lions at the Panthers. Detroit is a 3-point favorite in Carolina.
Yeah, Lions.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Lions too, for sure. I don't know how. They probably beat them by about 7 or 8. They may get them by a touchdown. If they continue what they've been doing,
I'm looking at them putting up. They're gonna put up 35 points.
Yeah, I don't think Carolina can do that. They
Carolina,
can't do that.
Carolina put up 16 tops.
Yeah.
So I think it's a big runaway victory with the Lions.
Absolutely.
I'm calling 35-17. How about that?
There you go. Next game is going to be the Falcons at the Ravens. Baltimore's favored by 7. What do you think about this one?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Take. So it's Huntley again, right?
That's what I think so.
I'm taking Ravens, but they don't cover 7 points.
Yeah.
Ravens by field goal.
Yeah. Man, if with Huntley again, it's still gonna be like you said, it's gonna still be tough on the Ravens just because of the way the Falcons run the ball and control it. It's probably gonna be a very low scoring game.
Oh yeah.
Unless some turnovers pop up in pick six or something like that.
Yeah, I would like to see what the over under is because it's gonna be a low scoring game.
Yeah, these teams.
Over under is 39 points.
Yeah, give me the under on that one
under,
for sure, all the way. Man,
probably scored 30 points between the both of them.
Yeah, but if the Ravens lose, and man, you don't even want to think about that. Next game, the Washington Commanders at the 49ers. San Francisco favored by 7. Tough time of the year for the Commanders to be going to San Francisco, man.
Dang.
Oh boy.
This would be a good game to see what Purdy's really about, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Purdy's kind of, I'm not gonna say he's skated, but maybe the defensive line might make it a little tough on the Commanders' defensive line. Might make it a little tough on the 49ers.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I have the 49ers covering, like, that 7 points is a good line right there.
Yeah, I think the Commanders are going to force the 49ers to do some things that they hadn't done this year. That front seven is going to force them. I think it's going to be the first half. I think it's going to be a pretty low scoring game, and eventually Shanahan will make the adjustments at halftime or so, and then the second half you see a little bit different game. But like you say, the Commanders, especially if Chase Young's coming back, they got the ability to make you change a whole lot of things. You know, even though they got a lot of skill players and the offensive play calling is great, they still don't have Debo this week. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that defense played Kyle's offense.
Speaking of the Commanders, did you see the Sean Taylor statue
Man,
they did?
They need to be ashamed of themselves. So disrespectful.
They made improvements. So the improvements they made, they taped up the cleat.
I didn't see that one yet.
They put the tape. You know how Sean Taylor will put the tape around his face mask.
Right.
So they added that. What if they gave him better socks? They should be ashamed. Why is that not a statue?
Right.
Why is it a mannequin that they keep dressing up and they put it in a glass case? Like, I don't want to. Now ain't nobody gonna steal this. Just give that man his statue.
Oh my God.
Commanders are a joke.
Oh man.
So with this last game, Raiders Steelers. Man, it's one of them games I do not care about.
Yeah.
It's a oh shoot, that's so these are all Saturday games.
Oh yeah, all of them are Saturday. All the games are Saturday. No Christmas.
I didn't even realize they're all Saturday games.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Raiders just because they got more talent. But yeah, this game I'm not gonna be paying too much attention to, especially Saturday night. No, I'm gonna be doing other stuff.
And the next one, Eagles Cowboys Saturday. Cowboys favorite by 2.
Nah, there's no way. Eagles should be favored in this game. That's disrespectful to even have them. I'm picking Eagles.
Okay.
Picking Eagles by 7 points. Good touchdown victory with the Eagles.
Yeah. Man. I think I'm gonna take the Cowboys. I think I'm gonna take the Cowboys this week, man.
Braver than me.
I think I'm gonna take them. I feel like this is a game that they just must win. They just must win this game.
It's a must win, but who's cornerback 2? Because if they put Kelvin Joseph out there and have him guarding, Devontae Smith.
No, that's not gonna work. They're gonna have to make some adjustments on that back.
Are they gonna make the adjustments?
Yeah.
Dan Quinn singled up Zay Jones and he burned that dude 3 times. So I just don't have the faith that they're gonna make the right adjustments. I'm giving Eagles 7-point victory in Dallas.
Yeah, they're gonna don't just let Pollard run the ball. Just hand the ball to Pollard and Zeke, man.
Yeah,
and play solid defense. What you want to do is keep Hurts on that sideline. I know it's easier said than done because the Eagles got a pretty stout defense too. But man, as much as you can, keep Hurts off the field.
And I'm scared of that running game. We don't have Jonathan Hankins. They got a hell of an offensive line.
Yes.
I think it's not going to be a high scoring game.
Yeah.
It's going to be low scoring. And Eagles just gonna play keep away, like you're saying.
Mm-hmm. And finally, we get to they got 3 Sunday games, and the first one gonna be the Packers at the Dolphins. Miami's favored by 4.5. Yeah.
Yeah, give me the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Closer than that. The Dolphins by 3.
Yeah. Man, I was thinking the Dolphins gonna probably blow them boys out.
You think?
I think so, man. I think Waddle and Hill gonna have a field day this week on the Packers. And the next game is gonna be Broncos at the Rams.
Man,
Denver's favored by 1.
I think
At the Rams.
I think Vegas just gave up. Vegas just like whatever. We'll just put up. They should have made it a pick 'em.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going Rams. I'm actually going. The Rams are going to win this game.
Yeah.
They.
Yeah. I'm gonna take the Broncos with ripping. Oh no. I'm taking the Rams. Russ will be back. Yeah. Man. They're gonna score 10 points.
Yep.
Give me the Rams, man. I forgot about
13
that.
points.
Yeah.
And he gonna have a ridiculous pick. Yeah, I'm going Rams.
Yeah. You know, the Broncos defense is kind of like the Titans defense. You know, you go out there, you make all these stops just for your offense to go out there and go 3 and out.
Then you look at the clowns running on the field, and you know you're gonna be right back out there. It makes you not care as much.
Yep. The last game, the Buccaneers and the Cardinals. Tampa Bay is favored by 4.5 points at the Cardinals.
This is gonna save the Buccaneers season right here.
Yeah.
They get to play a tomato can.
Mm-hmm.
So they're gonna end up with 7 wins. And yeah, they're gonna end up with 7 wins. Put a little distance between them and New Orleans, them and Carolina.
Yeah, because the rest of the division got fairly tough games compared to what they got this week.
Yeah.
And Cardinals may be on their 3rd quarterback.
Yeah.
Maybe McSorley again.
Ooh.
Depends on how bad Colt was hurt. And the Monday night game is going to be the Chargers at the Colts. The Chargers are favored by 3.5 at the Colts.
And you know what's crazy is I think it's going to be the same script.
Yeah.
Colts going to have a lead in the 4th quarter, give it right back up. 3 weeks in a row. I think it's going to be the exact same script.
Yeah.
And then Chargers win by 3. They're gonna win by field goal.
Yeah. I'm taking the Chargers too, man. I'm looking forward to see if they're gonna let Gilmore shout at somebody. Maybe Mike Williams or Keenan Allen. See how that works out.
Probably Mike Williams.
He don't mind it. Gilmore, he say he there for all that smoke.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for week 16, Jerron. As far as your fantasy, how you doing so far right now?
So I'm in 2 playoffs. I scored 150 and 133. So I'm looking good in my matchup.
There you
go. Of course, in Fredo's league, I'm out of that thing.
Right.
But I put up a hell of a showing this week. All my people came through.
Of course.
I'm at like I don't remember the score, but I'm up there. I'm at 160 maybe. I just want to prove that I got more points than cats in the playoffs.
Yep.
I just got more points against me. So that's fantasy's all luck of the draw.
Ain't no doubt. There's a lot of luck that goes into it.
It's a lot of luck of the draw, and this week I bossed up. So
yeah, that's crazy because you know how some of them weeks they'll be like that. Next week you be like, what the hell happened?
Yeah, why did nobody show up for me?
Yeah, I'm in pretty much the same situation. I think I'm in playoffs in 3 leagues. Like the one with you, I beat what's that guy's name? I beat him this week, and he beat me earlier in this. I can't think. Hutchins,
Mike Hutchins.
I think it was him. I think it was him. I'm playing him. I beat him. That's over with. So now I get to play Fredo this coming up week.
That's
so we get to square off.
Yeah, that's gonna be a little tough right there, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. I'm just gonna need Saquon and Dalvin Cook to do what they did this week to have a shot. Fredo's got a strong team, man. And he ended up getting Chris Godwin. I said, man, that was right there was a game changer for his team. Alone because he got Eckler and Connor. But yeah. Other than that, Jerron, I think we do have a question from a listener. Uh, uh, a listener that gave us a shout out.
Yeah.
And we'd like to respond to that. Do you have that for us, though, Stephen?
Yes, I do. Go ahead and get that started real quick here. So we got a listener here saying, Fredo, what's up, man? How are you and your family doing? Like your beard, looks like mine. I told Dave I'll comment sometime. I like your show. Keep up the good work. Maybe you'll be on Fox next. You all talking Raiders? Let's talk the Snake Stable, the Ghost Bill, Casper, the Twos, Mr. Matuska, Jack, the Hitman Tatum,
Mm-hmm.
the Oakland Raiders, that 76 team Super Bowl champs would dominate today. That's it. That's the comment right there.
Yeah. With that, thank you, first of all, for listening.
Yeah.
And continue to listen.
Thanks for the comment.
The Kenny Stabler and the guys that you named off, they would dominate only if they would allow those rules. The problem is the rules have changed drastically from what they were to what they are today. But yeah, those guys were very good in the era that they played in.
Yeah, that 76 team would be arrested if they tried to pull.
Yeah.
Because back then they could do the hand to the head helmet, like they would slap them on the side of the helmet.
You slap them into a concussion.
Yeah, dudes is dazed. But I'm sure you're happy about that win that y'all got. The Raiders got. But yeah, it'll be tough for that 76 team to compete these days.
No doubt. Yeah, and the Raiders, I mean, like one of the other episodes, I expected them to win the division this year. That didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
But they have a couple of bright spots. They got some players. We just got to figure out how they want to use those players. As far as what they want to do with Josh Jacobs, they didn't redo his contract. They let him make it to his 5th year. So that's another question that's going to have to be answered in the offseason. I don't know if they're going to let him walk. They may if he asks for too much and just let Zamir White come in and take over him and Abdullah. But, of course, you're good at Devontae Adams. Holland looks like he gives you a little flash every now and then. But if you can just keep your tight end Waller healthy, I see y'all just gave him a new deal at the beginning of this year. And, of course, with Renfro, like I say, we got plenty of skilled players.
Yeah.
You just got to bring it all together.
Yeah,
of course, your 2 defensive ends is going to be legit. Maybe pick up something in the secondary, so you guys should be on your way.
Yeah, start working on that defensive secondary, get you a nice safety.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, thanks for the comment. But yeah, that 76 team would be arrested. They wouldn't be able to play it. They wouldn't be able to play it today.
Man, the refs run out of flags
with these rules. You see how soft it is now. So
yeah, you either some of these guys you just fall on the quarterback and they call it personal flag.
I hate it.
It was a sack, man.
I hate it. He'll hit the quarterback, put his hands down, and they'll still throw a flag on that trash.
Yeah.
They messing the game up with that.
Big time. They protecting the quarterbacks, man. But anything else, Ron?
No, I'm good. Okay. I'm excited to see these games coming up. Excited to get together with family on Christmas. So
no doubt, exactly. And once again, thank everybody for listening, watching. Check us out: Spotify, YouTube, Apple, however you get your podcast.
Yeah,
just type us in Fredo's Football Talk in the search. We'll pop up somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, y'all have a good weekend and a Merry Christmas.
Yeah, same. Fredo, get well soon, bro.
Yes, sir. Get better.